Wolfgang, where you at, man? Wolfie.
Wolfgang eating sheep, only playing for kicks. Have your sleep 6 feet tucked in while your family weeps.
You're tuned into Wolf Tickets.
Yeah. Mic check. 1, 2. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Wolf Tickets Radio. What it is. Y'all know what time it is. We just bum rush the show. That's what we do.
Yo. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Y'all hear me? What up? What up, love? JM. Yeah, we in this. Alina, what's up? Patricia Blair. What are you talking about on it? That's what she said. What up, Plastic? What up? Yeah. All right, man. All right, let me bring this in. Hold on. All right, we in here. Yeah, y'all hit the like button, y'all. What's up? I'm just in here briefly. I want to go in on this topic of discussion. It's very interesting. I'm gonna just get right to it. Might have a special guest. We shall see. Mike sounds nice. That's what's up. All right. Check it out. Wolf Tickets Radio. This is Wolfgang Amadeus. And I'm in here like swimwear. How is it connected? Let's talk. Let me cook first. Let me get the ingredients. Let me go ahead and pull up what it is I need to pull up. Somebody asks, how is it connected? Well, first off, Mencho, Nipsey Hussle, and Big U. I'm just asking the question if what recently just went on with the D-Rug Cartel boss, Mencho, is connected to anything what's going on with this Big U situation. Let's talk about it real brief. Look. We come in like with just receipts. So according to the Guardian, I woke up today and I saw Mexican security forces reportedly unalive D-Rug cartel boss El Mencho. All right, one of the world's most wanted D-Rug traffic cures. The Mexican cartel boss known as El Mencho has been unalived by security forces. Mexico's defense ministry has confirmed. So the drug lord, I keep saying, why did I say? Okay, his real name is Nemencio Cervantes. He was unalived today in the western state of Jalisco, along with at least 6 alleged accomplices. The ministry said in the statement. The gangster was 59 years old, the leader of a group that in recent years become Mexico's most powerful and notorious criminal organization, the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. The JNGC. Yeah, not El Chapo. This guy name is El Mencho. Yeah, he's not as famous as the Sinaloa cartel. El Chapo, the Jalisco group is a household name in Mexico where it's infamous for the display of ultra violence in its big military style arsenal. U.S. offered, there it is, 10 million right here. They offered that reward some years back for the capture of the D-Rug boss who was accused of smuggling huge quantities of cocaine, fentanyl, and methamphetamines across its southern border. El Mencho's cartel, which was founded about 16 years ago, became Mexico's most influential crime group, was also accused of attempting to assassinate Mexican government officials. Senior U.S. officials celebrated his slaying, which follows months of pressure from Donald Trump over the influx of D-Rugs and migrants across the almost 2,000-mile border between the U.S. and Mexico. U.S. president, he's even threatened military action against the cartels that he has claimed are running Mexico. El Mencho's is one of the bloodiest and most ruthless D-Rug kingpins, he said. It's a great development for Mexico, the U.S., and Latin America worldwide. The circumstances of El Mencho's unaliving, which analysts call the biggest blow to Mexico's cartel in more than a decade, remained unclear. The Defense Ministry said Special Forces troops from the Army and the National Guard had launched an operation in Tapalpa. I guess that's a town. It's in the southwest portion of the Jalisco state. It's near Guadalajara, and that's where they went to capture the fugitive D-Rug lord with the support of the Air Force and military intelligence. While doing so, however, the military personnel came under attack and fought back. So 4 cartel members were unalived at the scene, while another 3 were unalived while being flown to Mexico City. Among them, El Mencho, 3 troops were injured during the operation and were all transported to the capital for treatment. The 2 cartel members were arrested with weapons that included rocket launchers capable of bringing down aircraft and destroying armored vehicles. Wow. Defense Ministry said the U.S. authorities had provided complementary information that had contributed to the operation's success. And the sign of El Mencho's huge influence across Mexico, as well as other parts of Latin America, his unaliving sparked an immediate outrage of disorder across the region he ruled. So media reports said Sunday that by lunchtime, the narco roadblocks were made from burning cars, buses, and trucks. And it could be seen at least across 8 Mexican states. That's Jalisco, Colima, Guerrero, Zacatecas. I can't pronounce them other states, bro. I ain't going in front. Mexico, they have footage showing clouds of smoke. And you can see it in Puerto Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta is very beautiful. I've been there and I was just like, yeah. So it's a lot of chaos going right now. And they're saying Guadalajara was, it's actually going to be one of the World Cup's hosted cities, because you had a lot of the tourists over there running for cover. And there's torch vehicles. There's all kind of crazy stuff. So it's going up. It's going up in Mexico right now. Violent events. That's what they're calling it. They said violent events have spread to at least 5 parts of the country. All right. There's a lot in this article, but I'm basically just giving you guys the rundown, and it's actually going up right now. Now, someone asked, how is this all connected? Someone asked me, how is all this connected? Jaguar Wright is in the building. Y'all say what's up, special guest. And we both, because I was just reviewing some information and I shot it over to her, and we can both speak on how this is possibly connected. Jag, what's up?
What's going on, everybody? How are you? Welcome back to Wolf Tickets, the podcast, Wolf Tickets Radio, here live on Set in the West. Please, everyone, make sure you're double tapping the screen or you're just hitting that thumbs up. Let's get those likes up. Welcome. We have a new member in the, oh no, somebody who's been a member. God's baby girl. Well, we love you and thank you for being here. Okay, now that I did all of that, how is all of this connected?
Yeah, they asked how is it connected.
What I find interesting is that people aren't looking at obvious lineups. I've been saying for years that the music industry is, especially the touring aspect of it, and film productions is the best way to move stuff around in plain sight without people looking for someone who's moving stuff around in plain sight. Like tour buses, those bays, they carry all kinds of stuff. You have certain tour buses that even have special compartments. There's stuff that you can take, you can put them in under the bunks. Like I know a lot of people that move a lot of weight around on tour buses. You know, human weight and metric weight.
Yeah. Women, yep, like you said, women's. They can be moved around via these tour buses. But not only that, you got the D-rugs that could be moved around, and the weapons that can be moved around on these tour buses. There's been rumors of the cartel power in Mexico have had their hand in the organized crime intersection with a lot of hip hop culture, especially here
absolutely
on the West Coast.
Let's not forget one of the biggest, labels here in the United States. Their CEO has ties to the cartels and worked with the cartels. Matter of fact, had a child with the head of the Puerto Rican cartel.
Yeah, and helped bring down the Colombian cartel.
Yeah.
So you guys
also bragged of links. I won't say ties, but links. An association with Griselda Blanco.
Ooh. Yeah, y'all. That's one connection. And that's just something that we're just coming out, just kind of, I haven't like researched. Well, I did, but not really. I'm just kind of going off of.
You haven't taken the deep dive, but
yeah, I'm just when I saw that this assassination happened or whatever, unaliving, whatever you want to call it, of El Mencho, I thought about that situation. I thought about Rock Nation. I thought about the cartel being connected to street politics, because there's unverified claims tying cartel activity, street politics, high profile names in the music industry, including a story that I'm going to get into about Chicago, Nipsey Hussle, some alleged D-Rugs conflicts, and Big U, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we're connecting it, y'all. This is how it's connected, and this is not really a conspiracy theory. Let me see if I could even run that audio. I kind of don't. Okay, let me see if I could run that audio. It's very and I normally don't. I don't listen to Al Prophet. That's his name. I normally don't. But it popped up on my feed today, and I said, because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I grew up in that area. I know people. I ain't gotta go listen to no Al Prophet to find out what I need to find out. But it's very interesting because the online narratives, the social media narratives, they start like this. They start with people like an Al Prophet. That's kind of what I would say. We all know that Big U.
And salute classics in the building.
Yep. What's up, man? Yeah, you saw it. You saw it this morning. Yeah. Well, we know that Big U is in prison. He's in custody right now.
Mm-hmm.
He done made a whole bunch of. He said a whole bunch of stuff. We was on Classics channel yesterday, and we were talking about the fact of him, you know, in his last video before he turned himself in, who he mentioned and who actually was, you know, around him. He mentions he mentions Loose Cannon. He mentions Whack 100.
Mm-hmm.
Who everybody in hip hop have already both of those names have been loosely affiliated with law enforcement. I'm not saying that they are law enforcement, but either somebody done talked to the police or snitched or this. But Big U, he just recently, I think the feds refined their case against him. They're not saying that he had something to do with Nip's unalivement, but they are taking the threat that he had said to Nip very serious now. And Al Prophet goes into the history of what was going on with Big U and Nip. And, you know, if you guys don't know, Big U managed Nip. Unique management, unique music. That's Big U had his hand in helping Corrupt get to where he was. Corrupt grew up. He was right over there on 59th, 10th Ave. And you know, I everybody know Ricardo. Everybody know. And shout out to, I think Lurch has passed on. Rest in peace, Big Lurch. If you from the hood and you know who I'm talking about, Big Lurch. It be some people in here. They know that when I say these names, like when I mentioned Third World, I was surprised that somebody knew that. But Big Lurch, rest in peace. Stayed over there off 59th, 10th Ave. And yeah, had their hand in dealing with draws and or helping draws get into the music industry, and draws is Big U basically. Now, Big U supposedly they're looking deeper into his situation, his involvement with the potentiality of his involvement with the unalived Nipsey Hussle, but it's deep. And that's what I was saying about Al Prophet. He was mentioning the fact that, you know, Nip was trying to get away from Big U. The feds got Big U on wiretap talking about he's bigger than the hood. I'm talking about him. Big U is bigger than the hood. Don't nothing come past him or something like that or whatever. Got him on wiretap threatening the life of Nipsey Hussle. So things have kind of just went in a different direction. I think he's looking at 600 years. They like to do that. They be playing in y'all faces or the public's faces or these gang members' faces because Shitty Cuz
600 years?
And Shitty Cuz got what, 60 years? Isn't that what it is? He ended up getting 60 years. Well, they could have did 40. They could have gave him 70. They said no, nigga, 60 because he's from 60. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah. But here's the connection, y'all. Here's the connection. Hold on. Let me see if I can run this.
They just be saying stuff just to get people all worked up.
See if I can run this. Can y'all hear this?
The Mexicans in Chicago tried to kill Nip.
Yeah. At the concert, Sean, it was fucking 100 Mexicans with colorful Crenshaw shirts on the south side of Chicago. We were backstage, Nip like, man, hey, keep y'all head up, because, you know, some shit went on back home. He did, and that's how I can say it.
So I don't know if y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. Did you hear it, Jack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Maybe you should play it one more time.
Okay, I'll run it back, and I'm running it because, you know, with the music, because I don't want to, you know, risk a strike either. You know what I'm saying?
Understand.
So, yeah.
Fair use, by the way.
Fair use.
The Mexicans in Chicago tried to kill Nip.
Yeah. At the concert, Sean, it was fucking 100 Mexicans with colorful Crenshaw shirts on the south side of Chicago. We were backstage, Nip like, man, hey, keep y'all head up, because, you know, some shit went on back home. He did, and that's how I can say it.
Yeah. The brother was mentioning the fact this was some time ago where Nip was in Chicago. Now, you guys don't understand Chicago. there's a lot of Mexicans that made it to Chicago. Of course, LA is a major hub where Mexicans are.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to all our, Mexican homies.
And Texas.
And of course, Texas, but Chicago just happened to be one of them points where Mexicans are deep.
Yeah.
There's only, the Latin community, they get around the United States, but there's only certain places. Like, I only knew one Puerto Rican dude. Shout out to DJ Hightown. That's my dude. When I was out here in LA, he's been out here. He's from New York, but he came out here to LA. I think he's related to DJ Enough. Yeah, I think DJ Enough is his cousin. So shout out to my boy DJ Hightown. The only Puerto Rican dude, cool as hell. And when I started hanging with him, I realized, not all the Latinos get along. Because I thought, you grow up, you kind of, Mexicans, you kind of know. Like, I grew up with Mexicans, Tongans. Tongans are not Hispanics, they're Pacific Islanders. They're different from Samoans. Samoans and Tongans don't get along. Mexicans and Puerto Ricans don't get along. Not at all.
Tell you, I dated a guy whose dad was Mexican and his mom was a dark-skinned Puerto Rican.
Oh man, I know they were fighting like a motherfucker.
Listen to me. We got into an argument one day, and I said, honestly, I don't even know how you exist.
Right.
I said, but I see the conflict in yourself, and I understand it secondhand.
Right. Yeah, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans, they don't tend to get along. But Mexicans dominate pretty much LA. And then in Chicago, they're a force to be reckoned with, even though, the black population there is, they do their thing. But when you start getting into the gang politics, when you start talking about the D-Rugs and stuff like that, there's politics involved. Now,
absolutely.
The situation that the brother was just mentioning was from an incident to where Nip's tour bus kept getting pulled over.
Kept getting flagged. For whatever reason. They kept going on his tour bus trying to find something. What do you think they were trying to find? The product.
Yeah, all that. Nip mentioned
product. They was looking for what you call it, whatever you want to call it. You call it work, you call it product, you call it DUR. They was looking for a firearm. They was looking for ammo. They was looking for everything.
Yeah, they were. And they didn't find anything. Nip knew better because beforehand, Nip caught a charge for being in the studio with a shotgun. He's a felon with a firearm situation, so he couldn't been around no firearms.
Yeah.
He was in a studio. He said they took all the equipment and they took him to jail. And he went to jail for that. So guess what? Nip's not a dummy. He made sure don't have any of this felonious stuff around me. You know what I'm saying? And when it came down to being on tour bus is clean. Ain't nobody we ain't doing this. We ain't doing nothing crazy. This is just how we do. Allegedly, Big U has always been the one transporting all types of, and he's known. He was locked up before for robbing the D-Rug spots. Because see, the thing is there's supposed to be honor amongst it, but in all honesty, there ain't. Big U knew who was getting what from where and blah blah blah. So if you the D-Rug man and you get caught up and someone robs you, who do you call? The DEA? No. You can't call just because they're called the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, don't mean they're gonna enforce your drugs. You can't call authorities. Hey man, they took some pounds from me. Supposedly, the reason why the Mexicans came and surrounded Nip in Chicago is because Nip was connected to Big U, who supposedly robbed the Mexican cartel for over 300 kilos of heroin.
I'll tell you one thing. Somebody clever like you, I could see him putting that word out that there was stuff on Nipsey's bus just so people would be looking at it so that he could get it out another way. Send all of the attention over there so nobody's paying attention to what's driving out this way.
Right.
Couple panel vans, a U-Haul truck. Like, I know people who were excellent smugglers. And for Nip to be who he was, and for him to be like, no. Yeah, I could see somebody like you just putting that word out there that he was moving stuff around on Nip's bus.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that all of the heat went there.
Mm-hmm.
And then skirt. And yeah. That right there tracks. Not only that, I can understand why the tension between Big U and Nipsey could be so easily mistaken, because a lot of people after Nipsey passed away were blaming Big U for his passing.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people were saying it. But if people really didn't understand or know the full inner workings of what their discord actually was all about, it would be easy to do that. Last night our conversation, shout out to Classic Live. I was just listening, and it got me thinking, with all of the shakeup that we have going on in the industry, there's a lot of eyes that are watching that weren't watching before. There's a lot of people that have to move a lot differently. There's been problems in cartel land ever since there's been problems in hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Does anybody not notice that the cartels, as far as how they're operating and moving, they seem to be a little destabilized ever since hip hop has been under a microscope?
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. That's all.
No, great observation. What you guys got to understand when it comes to entertainment, the cartels, the mafias, they still do what they do within entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they need to, launder a little bit of money, whether they need to transport a little bit of this, whether they need to get girls over here, if they need to go get some weapons over here. It's a lot more nefarious than people think. It's not as clean as just, okay, yeah, these people do a lot. They launder their little money.
A lot of people aren't paying attention to the fact that Robert Kelly was a big mule for the underclass, for the underworld, for transporting girls and transporting, pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
When I was talking to one of the victims' dads for Robert Kelly, he was telling me about when his daughter was at Clive Davis's house. And Clive didn't want anybody that was on the bus coming into his house. He had people bringing food out and stuff like that. And there was a porta potty on the property, because they were on a tour bus. You're really not supposed to be crapping on the tour bus. So he had a porta potty that was on the property that they could use, but he wanted nobody in his house.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what was on that bus. Isn't that wild?
It's crazy.
R. Kelly at Clive Davis's house with a fleet of tour buses parked on his property, and they're all out there partying on the bus with a bunch of girls that were being moved around from state to state, along with pharmaceuticals, at Clive Davis's house. But nobody was allowed inside the house.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, you really wouldn't know. 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 You really wouldn a lot of this stuff, I mean, unless you actually you're in the game and you see it, and some people just kind of see things with a certain type of lens.
There's a couple of rap crews that I worked with when I was younger that I know was moving stuff around, that was transporting stuff around, people and substances. Like,
yeah,
that's why people ought to be nicer to me, because there's a lot of people that I haven't even burned for real, for real.
yeah. Let me do a quick breakdown, because what you're saying makes me take this conversation to another direction. So let's just say, you know, when cartel figures are unalived or captured, there's usually what a power vacuum. There's also internal fighting, infighting. There's a splinter fraction. That's why I was mentioning with this Jalisco group. Thank you, Alina, for contributing to the channel. I appreciate that, really do. But what happens is this power vacuum, internal fighting, the splinter of different groups, because if they're talking about a large cartel that ran Jalisco, now that this guy is gone, okay, who's going to take over? And then usually there's a temporary supply disruption. So the traffic routes, they get destabilized. Other groups try to seize certain territory. The prices will go up. These coyotes, when they got to get people over, it's a different situation. And then someone else will rise to the occasion on that side of the game. Now, that's the business model of the D-Rug traffic, right? But when it comes to music, you know, there's no verified pipeline where, you know, cartels, the effect of a cartel member, you know, dying or going away, where it would just, you know, collapse the mainstream music industry. That's not what we're saying. But money laundering and cartels have always been, and the mafia, because when I'm talking about mafia, I'm talking about not just cartels, Mexican mafia, Jewish mafia, Italian mafia, black mafia, Italian. Those are the main ones. There's always been money laundering and entertainment. Just know that. Nightclubs. Go ahead.
Number one, entertainment, especially the music business, has always been one of the greatest ways to launder large amounts of illegal cash in the United States, going all the way back to the 30s.
Yeah.
During Prohibition. Prohibition, like, yeah.
That's what I was about to say. When we had our thing in Harlem, and then we had our thing out here in LA at on Central Avenue, the speakeasies and the nightclub, event,
after hours.
Yeah, exactly. But these organizations have always, crime wars. Let's just say crime organizations, right? Cartels, mafias. They've always had their hands in nightclubs, event promotions, record labels. Artist sponsorship and touring companies. You know, they don't. These are laundering fronts for the most part. So don't you think it would make sense for a person like a Desiree Perez to get in where she fit in the music game when it came to all that? Because she's from that world.
She was the perfect person, and because she was a woman, she was lightweight, underestimated.
Yeah. So. And all this isn't like industry wide. It's a lot of times it's localized. So if something happens to somebody with this cartel situation or whatever, they may move to different cities. They may move they'll shift to like other genres. Because I'm very aware of how they do in Mexico. You know, shout out to some people I know that are connected. I know how they get down, but United States is different, and that's a whole nother thing. But they still have their hands in it. Like when you talk about the Mexican scene, they have like a type of music. What is it called? Narco corridos. It's almost like drill music, but Mexican music. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, it's the mariachi,
Yeah,
sagas,
yeah.
and yeah, they talk about all of the their crimes and who did what and what narco did this and what narco did that, and they make the songs about it, and yeah,
Yep.
corridos, yeah.
Yep. Narco corridos or whatever. So yeah, all this stuff gets tied in though when we talk about hip hop
It's
on our side of
wild.
the
Drill music over here, corridos over there. It's everybody wants to snitch.
when we overlay hip hop to that too. Of course, we got the drill music and stuff over here, hip hop or whatever. Who benefits from the traffic? It'll be the promoters, it'll be security firms, it'll be nightclubs, it'll be quote unquote investors. They may tie themselves indirectly or directly to these networks. So artists, they got to worry about security if something like this has gone on, where this guy all of a sudden he's out the picture, El Mencho. So there might be a situation where a certain artist, he just got to, I just got to be on the lookout. Just like I said with Nip. Nip went to Chicago and he's like, hey man, something happened over here in LA. Mexicans, we got to be careful over here. He had this increased security. So we talk about weapons and we talk about the human traffic side too.
Mm-hmm. So the question is this. I don't know if I'm the only person that remembers Jay-Z rapping about El Chapo's tunnels in his songs.
Yeah. That's thank you. That's where I was going.
My question is, who's been rapping about El Mencho?
That's a good question. I don't know, but they've been doing their thing for a minute. We just got to investigate.
Well, it sounds like they slid in after El Chapo got taken down.
Well, they said they've been doing it since it's almost a decade. They've been in power.
It's about how long it's been since El Chapo been out.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Let me take a good look right quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, he said we filled in y'all we flying over the tunnel. What did he say? What was the song?
He said y'all looking for us flying stuff, and we in the tunnels right up underneath you.
Yeah.
That's what he was talking about.
He's self-snitching on himself.
He's always been snitching, just like he was telling everybody what he was doing with the CIA and Barack Obama in Cuba.
Yeah.
Listen to
wow.
me. That album with Kanye West, Watch the Throne, was snitchers galore. He was talking all kinds of shit.
Wow. Yeah, man. The rabbit hole goes deep.
Yeah. And finally, on January 8th, 2016, in Los Mochis, Sinaloa, Mexico, following his final capture in 2017 extradition, he was sentenced to life in prison in the United States in 2019. This is El Chapo.
Okay, 2019.
His final capture was 2016. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So yeah, it was a power vacuum, like I mentioned before.
Yeah, and so that was like these guys took over. This El Mencho.
The El Mencho took over. Now there's going to be another.
There's got to be another guy. There's always another guy.
So the only question I got is, if the cartel leadership changes, who controls the money? Who controls the pipeline tied to the nightlife? Who controls the touring? Who controls the underground promotion scenes?
It's really wild, because do you remember when we were watching? Grace had put us on to that Canadian journalist, young woman. She was like 21, like 22, 23 years old.
Oh, yeah.
She's been working in Mexico. She's been down there reporting on everything and how they were using the influencers, because there's a lot of TikTokers, Mexican TikTokers, that were talking about cartel related issues, stuff
Yeah.
going on with music,
Yeah.
connecting the dots with,
Yeah.
transporting and all of that stuff that was going on, and how many people were dying and how many people were getting taken up out of here. And how she was saying that a good share of the issues that were going on down at the southern border just moved to Canada, and they were at the northern border.
Yeah. Yep. I
And
remember
how
that.
they were saying, the whispers in Mexico was they were going to lay low and they were going to play it safe, and they were going to just wait for Trump to be out of there so that they could start bum rushing the southern border again. But
Yep.
while that was going on down there, they were going to be moving stuff around from Canada, from the north.
Yeah. I remember
can't-
that.
I can't remember what her name was. I'm going to have to go back and check.
Yeah. No, I remember
But-
that. I remember that.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are not paying attention. And also, let's not forget, Illinois is not that far from the northern border.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so the person who asked, how is it connected? Did we make sense? Did I make sense? Is it connecting to you? Because that's basically all I really wanted to say. I figured. Thank you, Alina. She's a member for 4 months. Appreciate it. Yep. Yeah. Like, all this makes sense when you look at the bigger scheme of things. Yeah. To me, it makes sense. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and say what you want to say, or better yet, here I'm gonna invite anyone to come on up.
Yeah, like
We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up.
How about everybody jump up, get on the stream? Let's have a conversation about this. Let's not make this thing so. Woo. I think if I were looking at this and taking it just on face value and not going in, and it's wild that this guy has just been unalived.
Yeah, literally today.
This is wild because there's a bunch of crazy stuff that's going on in Louisiana. There's a bunch of crazy stuff that happened during Mardi Gras. A bunch of people got unalived. There were a bunch of grapes that happened, invasions, robberies, all kinds of stuff going on. And that's, right there off the Gulf. And let's not forget, if I am correct, I think you were the one that informed me that someone was unalived at Mar-a-Lago.
Yep. We can talk about that real brief. A young man, I believe he was in his 20s. He was unalived this morning at Mar-a-Lago. They had said that he was on the property with a GUN and some fuel, gas or something. And then this happens right after that.
Somebody gets unalived at Mar-a-Lago, and then right after that, it's announced that this guy was taken.
Yeah. 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 It's no coincidence, y'all. No coincidence at all. Yeah, and then in all honesty, y'all, look, do me a favor. If you got an opportunity, maybe tune in to Al Jazeera, even though Al Jazeera is just like freaking CNN to a degree. But we got to start paying attention to what's going on globally as well.
This is wild.
Trump is also, let me just say this. He's talking about the Iran action amid this U.S. military buildup in the Middle East. So they got a lot of stuff going on in the Middle East. Rumor has it, Iran has a X tape of Trump, and they're going to release it. There's a rumor that Kazakhstan and what was the other country? they've had this tape on Trump for the longest, and they're threatening to release it. I mean, I don't want to see it. We talk about R. Kelly, and I didn't want to see that. I hope that one don't leak, and I don't see that at the barbershops. But there's a lot of distractions that will be thrown out there all of a sudden. And in another note, because I can tie in Rock Nation, y'all know Jay-Z changed his name. Well, technically, he didn't change his name. He just went back to, I guess, the original Jay-Z, where he's not Jay-Z with a regular Y. He has 2 dots over the Y. Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe the same reason Diddy changed his name every time he went through a scandal.
Yeah, he went from Puffy to, Puff Daddy to Puffy to Diddy to Brother Love. Yeah. Interesting times, I would say.
Very interesting times.
Yeah, but why? That's what someone says. Harry Set says, why? Nicole Jonas says, but why? Okay, is someone in? Did you type that? Malcolm X died? Okay, I was about to say, who in my
actually
mother?
Today isn't the 21st. Today is the 22nd.
The 22nd. It was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. I was going through the Epstein stuff and paying attention to it's funny that yesterday the whole Epstein stuff tying in Malcolm to a degree. They tied in Malcolm. I'm not out. We may just have to do that on a different platform, because I want to go in on that. How Malcolm X was unalived, who really was responsible, because Malcolm X was talking about Palestine, and the media will have you loving the aggressor and hating the oppressor, essentially.
Absolutely.
Sup, LP?
He also said and made it very clear that whoever controls the media controls the minds of the masses.
Right. So this is why we want y'all to support what it is that we do. Support our people, support Classic, support Archangel Michael, support Jag, because we're building, we're putting it together. We got to really get this real information out.
It's just wild because they put those 2 dots over there just so it can deflect from all of the negative press that's hitting the name that he's been using. It's just kind of wild.
Yeah, I know.
That goes to show you right there. If he actually did that,
he's guilty. He's guilty of something.
It's not even just him being guilty of something. He's being hit a lot harder than
he expected.
Than people are taking into consideration. They have so many bots. They have so much disinformation, like just working at their advantage. For crying out loud, freaking Willie D sitting there every other day. I'm starting to believe some of the rumors that I heard about him, the way he's been like on this pro Jay-Z campaign, him and Brad, like the whole Ghetto Boys, all of that. Like, I'm really, really, really starting to look at some things differently, because I heard Willie D, he got his own things that he trying to get away from. And it would make sense.
Yeah.
Texas, down there by the border.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get into that. I don't know if. Well, look, check this out, y'all. Just know this. We're coming with a lot of new information, And it's really about how we dole it out. Trust me, after this week,
we gotta be careful. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. After everybody in the world was gonna sue me last year, Gate, or put me in a lawsuit last year, Gate, what we're not trying to do is give people a whole bunch of ammunition to come up with any more fake stuff. Because honestly, even those lawsuits, that was all a distraction. Those lawsuits were a distraction to get people looking and worried about this, so you didn't see what they were doing over here on that. Like, we gotta get better. Like, we gotta get better.
We may talk about something that's surface level, but I got a Patreon too, so I think I'm gonna start activating that. But I got to get everything together because I ain't really got it like that. But Jag was just recently on the Patreon giving it up, and y'all should really check out what goes on over there.
Getting it started. We about to start cooking over there.
Oh, we about to no. I'm saying we about to start cooking,
because
and
I'm thinking Patreon is going to be the place where I start letting it loose and dropping it heavy on some stuff that needs to be dropped heavy. Because right now, the way I'm looking at how they going after the 5150 platform, I already know they want me up out of here. Like, they are literally looking for reasons and ways to get rid of people's platforms on YouTube. They got people sitting in people's chats, going through everybody's transcripts. They got people sitting in people's chats, just sitting there anonymously reporting, trying to kill people's monetization. They got a whole bunch of stuff going on. So, I mean, we're going to do what we do over here. But Patreon is going to be where we let it go. That's going to definitely be where I let it go. And it's just, wait a minute, Michael, not all of them. When you are evil, you tend to keep that way. But a lot of young people are saying shit. Jay was right. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Some new developments. Crip Mac. He's been released from prison.
Wow.
I'm gonna reach out to Crip Mac's dad. Remember, we met Crip Mac's dad. Remember, Stacy?
Yeah, I know. Actually, that's so funny.
No,
when I met him.
Yeah, no, that's why I brought it up, because again, shout out to I don't know, should we mention him? Yeah, let's mention Jag. Shout out to Jag. Talk to him real brief. Good dude. Definitely gonna make some things happen with him. But Crip Mac's dad, I'm gonna reach out to Stacy. I think maybe you and Crip Mac, that would be an interesting conversation. I gotta get in Crip Mac's ear first, because I want to holler at him about some shit. Because when I'm doing Set in the West too, I may just have to be like, yo, because he from the 50s. So yeah, I'll just get at him about a few things and try to see if I can get him down for an interview or two for what I'm doing with Set in the West. Of course, I'll go holler at Traffic, but I think you talking to Crip Mac would be something crazy. And then you talking to Jag and Jaguar. Especially what we, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. But yeah.
If people only understood the day that I met Crip Mac's dad, me and Jag sat down on camera with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
The Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola. That's what I'm going to call him. Coca-Cola. Yeah. Yeah.
Jitterbug.
The large Coke. Give me a large Coke and a Coke. No Coca-Cola. That's what I'm gonna call them. Yeah, we about to really let it go, because I think it's time, Jag. I think it's time to just kind of just start really.
I'm just trying to figure out, how do you go from Rescue Ranger to a rapper, or from rapper to a Rescue Ranger?
I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna have to get some of his some of that music.
I need to hear a verse.
I'm gonna get it. I want to get it, and I want to get this verse.
No, because I'm just trying to figure out how you went from being a rapper to a bodyguard for celebrities, but ain't no celebrity known that you speak about, got a picture with you, heard about you. I'm just trying to figure that out. He was a rapper.
He was a goddamn candy rapper, a hot dog rapper.
No, I need to know. I want to know. Ooh.
Yeah, we gonna get down to the bottom of it. If y'all don't know, you guys are gonna figure it out soon.
Nigga, do it get cold? I wanna know. I wanna know. When you cold, does your nose get cold?
when you're cuckold, do you get the cold phone?
I'm trying to understand.
Do you get the cold phone?
No, Michael. You don't even understand what we talking about. You don't even know who we talking about. Because I just found out. I was today years old when I found out.
Wait, no, we gonna talk about Jag. We gonna talk about it on another episode. We ain't got to give it to him right now. We be holding back on so much. No, I don't even want to tease him. It's funny as hell. You say you want to know why StreamYard won't let you in? I don't know, but
that's weird.
Have to get out of here. StreamYard. I mean, I don't know. Whatever you're running it on, maybe it's just an issue with that. Whatever, but no, we'll be back, y'all. Because honestly, I don't like to keep these over an hour. And yeah, we just the information that we got and where we're going. I
want to know. I want to know. I really do. I want to hear a verse.
I'm gonna get a verse. I want to get a verse. I'm gonna get a verse. Guaranteed.
Verse. Fuck a call log. I want a verse.
We getting a verse. We're gonna get a verses. Yeah. We done got it started, but we about to we gonna get started, and we about to finish up some stuff. It's funny just how the tables turn. Ain't no fun when a rabbit got it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is.
Rabbits. They got lucky feet.
All right. Yeah. We out of here, man. It is there's some things I gotta get taken care of and gotta handle, and I'm about to get on it right.
Salute to everyone who pulled up. I don't see how many likes we have, but I hope the likes have matched the people in the room. That would be at least 50, and if not, replay gang.
Yep, replay gang. And what I'm gonna do is I normally just make these I turn these something different, but the audio goes over to my podcast. So not everything goes over to the podcast. So maybe this last little piece is not gonna go, but I'll end it with this. Appreciate everybody that has fallen through, came through. This is Wolftix Radio, and yeah, how is it all connected? I think we explained it pretty well. If you didn't get it, feel free to leave a like, comment, and ask, well, what is it that, just leave your question. I'm open for all questions, and I'll answer to the best of my abilities. But yeah, this is Wolftix Radio. This will primarily be on the Spotify, the wherever you get your podcasts. Spreaker is where you could get this one for sure. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and let it go like that.
Peace.
Y'all have a great Sunday. We up out of here.
Wolf gang, where you at, man?